Hey guys, I just wanted to stop in real quick before we got to the podcast and let you know that we have teamed up with Top Line Construction to be our first sponsor for Season 3 of the eVENTS podcast. What we have to offer, we are offering bathroom remodels as low as $5,000, labor, and all the fun stuff included for that. And so if you guys want to check that out, all you have to go and do is head on over to facebook.com/TLCIL, and you will be all set to get your quote. So when you go and send a message, just head on over to the button in their page, click send a message, and mention that you heard about this offer in eVENTS podcast, and you guys will be all set with that. If you want to get a direct line to Esteban, the owner of the company, all you have to do is call 224-805-6434, and you guys will be all set, or send over an email to toplineconstruction94@gmail.com. Enjoy the podcast. I'm Graham.
And I'm Bryce.
And you're listening to the eVENTS podcast.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are honored that you would take 25 to 30 minutes from putting pepperonis on your pizza to listen to us. This week, we are back with current events. It's there already. No, nothing's there.
Oh.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a different topic. I'll be honest with you guys. But
things don't work out because it is currently 11:54 at night, the day before we leave for Ireland. And we are still packing. We are charging all of our electronics.
I'm on about
4 hours of sleep. I'm on about 6. And we're not thriving. But we had a current events planned for the time that we were away in Ireland.
Did we?
So, yeah, we did, the second half.
I can't remember things at this point.
But we decided to just push it forward, give you guys a bunch of new information, a bunch of new news, and new events that have happened around the world, so that you know.
And since we gave you a current events
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, we're not going to get into music or movies or...
We'll have one thing on
We'll
a
have
movie,
one thing
but
on
like,
movies,
other than that, we're
but
going to keep it...
Charts haven't changed much. There's not much new stuff going on in the realm of entertainment.
Music. There's entertainment stuff going on like crazy.
Moving. I'll get started since we just started talking about entertainment. Captain Marvel just, well, by the time you guys are watching this, Captain Marvel just came out. Stop. I'm going to blurt it out.
No. Please don't.
Graham has merch.
I have merch.
Captain Marvel, the latest Marvel movie, just came out. It is the prequel, not the prequel. It's the movie that is like following
the sequel.
It's not a sequel. A sequel would be like Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2.
The Preakness?
No, it's the movie that relates to Infinity Wars that came out in 2018. Marvel hasn't released a movie since Ant-Man and Ant-Man since the summer, really. But this movie is supposed to what's called blast off and thaw the winter box office deep freeze that we have been experiencing, because there's been a few not so great movies come out in the past couple of months.
The one I want to see that comes out tomorrow, Medea, Family Funeral.
It's already out.
Is it?
Yeah, no, I've sold tickets for that.
I want to see it really bad. I love Medea. Tyler Perry is... he's good.
I was supposed to see Captain Marvel Thursday morning at midnight. But I wrote a 12-page paper I read about 300 pages out of different books to write something on.
Bryce was on the next level of education.
I completed a full project for a class.
So he did that last night, right?
Yeah.
Today
5
I had
hours.
Bryce and I are in the same class.
We have the same
research writing
same
class.
class.
Yeah. And the 12-page paper we both had to do, and I hadn't started it until about 11 o'clock this morning.
Graham speak text.
I spoke text the
entire
12-page paper, threw it into Grammarly Premium, got it fixed up.
Why do you have to mention that it's premium?
Because if you just say Grammarly, it's like you don't have all of the options. Like having the options, no, it's not like a bougie thing. It's like I really worked hard on it.
It makes it look like that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I pay the $140 a year for.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's expensive, but it's worth it. It's gotten me grades that will get me rewards.
I mooch it, so.
42 people mooch it.
Yeah, what did you say last week?
Last week we did 138,000 words on my account.
Which was what, the top 5%?
Top 97th percentile of all Grammarly users.
So we were, wow.
We were with the top 3%.
Nice.
But top 99% of most unique words used, 6,000.
I used a lot of unique words in my papers.
Grammarly gave me a lot of unique words.
Yeah, sometimes I don't like the word suggestions.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Okay, so now it's my turn.
No, I'm not done with Marvel.
Hurry up with Marvel.
Captain Marvel is estimated to gain $350 million in the box office during its first couple of weeks, week or 2 weeks, which is insane.
That's pretty good.
Because if we look at 2018 box office results, Black Panther got #1, and that was $700 million.
That's a nice
and it was in theaters for 6 months.
Yeah, that's a good number.
And Avengers: Infinity War, under that, got $678 million and was in theaters for 5 months.
Yeah, so that movie's about to kill it. I'm not a huge fan of Marvel movies. It's just not my thing.
But you can see them for free with me.
But know what I am a fan of? Following us on social medias. Instagram, Facebook, @Vents Podcast. Spotify, TuneIn,
Graham's
YouTube.
been working on his
Actually, Spotify and
iTunes.
TuneIn and iTunes are all capital VENTS, and you'll see our new logo, the one that's right here. And then if you want to check us out on YouTube or Patreon, just type in Vents Podcast in the search bar, and we'll pop right it. We'll pop right it out of there, and you're gonna see us, and you're gonna be able to support us on Patreon, and you're gonna be able to subscribe to us on YouTube, and give us likes and comments on our videos. I apologize. Guys, I just wanted to remind you, Top Line Construction is the sponsor for this episode. So if you guys want to get a quote on how much it would cost to get a bathroom remodel, he's offering for the Vents Podcast viewers as low as $5,000 to remodel your bathroom. Just head on over to Top Line Construction on Facebook, or type in facebook.com/TLCIL to go and get your quote that you need to get you some new bathroom products. Yeah, Bryce? New bathroom products. So go and check that out. So now, let's talk about this thing coming out of the South.
A news story out of the South.
It's not really the South, it's Michigan. But they act like people from the South. Anyways, this teacher was suspended after encouraging her students to tell their parents that the classrooms were 58 degrees.
So they weren't actually 58 degrees?
No. They are 58 degrees. Classrooms are 58 degrees.
Oh, so the teacher got in trouble by the school.
Yeah.
For being transparent.
all Mary Logan's high school students could talk about was the chilly Michigan classroom temperature, 58 degrees to be exact, in violation of the school building contract code. So Logan wrote a note to a student instructing them to tell their parents to call the school board if they were cold. The note projected on her screen would get her temporarily suspended from teaching. It's 58 degrees in here, no heat, Logan said. Call your parents and tell them to call the board office if you're cold, because I can't do anything. So when she got suspended, the board, like the superintendent, actually they suspended her for speaking out about how freezing it was. And she said, it violates my freedom of speech and keeps us from doing our jobs.
I wouldn't return to work there after being suspended for something like that.
No, but at the same time, like, if that's all you got, you kind of have to. So, in response, the parents said that they didn't hear any calls, or their students didn't say anything to them, but that professor filed a union, it's not a professor, sorry, I'm a college student, filed a union grievance complaint with the school county district, who agreed to put space heaters in cold classrooms.
Space heaters?
Mm-hmm. That's kind of, okay, so when I was in middle school, Bryce, I don't know if, did you go to Haynes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to this middle school, and it's no more anymore. They knocked it down. But it would get to like 105 to 110 degrees in the classrooms.
Right, because they didn't have like AC.
Because we didn't have
half
AC.
Of the building.
The only places we had AC was the library.
Yeah.
And the music rooms, which luckily I was in for 3 periods out of the day because I was talented back then. Not anymore.
Just like riding a bike.
We're not doing this. But 105 degrees, 110 degrees in the classroom, and all they would offer is like, hey, here's a oscillating fan. Here's a big hallway fan that distracts you. And
Graham and I were pretty husky.
I was just gonna say husky.
Yeah, we were pretty husky.
My underboob was sweaty.
And
I remember that.
I remember profusely sweating like regularly, and then like same thing in high school.
Yeah, but high school, like my high school had AC. It just wasn't good.
They just didn't like to turn it on.
But like there was a time where it got up to 112 in the classroom, and they had to cancel school.
Yeah.
And so seeing this, like,
I guess it's on the opposite end of like the spectrum of heat.
The fact that they're not putting money into those buildings,
I thought it was like
taking away from education.
I thought it was like a federal law that public schools or all schools have to have like heat.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean,
because we had heat. And
CPS,
stuff
Chicago Public Schools, couldn't afford that. They shut down schools every year. They can't afford that.
Well, I don't think that's on the school.
You're right.
It's on the government. No need to get political, but that's the tea.
Sis.
Okay. Moving on.
Non-political.
To a little more enlightening story. So in Brazil, some background context, everybody from the ages of like 4 to 17 has access to education, but and everyone else has, like toddlers, they have access to infant care or daycare, but because it's like a free thing the government offers, there's so many wait lists that it's almost impossible to enroll your children into daycare. So these women are opening up their homes as daycares for kind of helping that list go down. And because Brazil is a highly populated country, it's going to better provide families the ability to have 2 working parents, or maybe 1 working parent if that's their household situation. It's going to provide an area where these toddlers are going to get to start learning at a younger age, and it's going to overall like help this country kind of join a lot of the world in the postmodern age that we've been living in.
Yeah. The first thing that came to my head when I heard that was, why am I not in Brazil building a child care empire?
Like a huge mall of just
Children.
I don't like that idea.
You all give them a barcode, like a name tag.
There's a thing in history that had
Mark of the Beast. But like, just like what they did in Genesis, or not Genesis, Kids World. Like you get
they put a sticker on their back.
Yeah, it's like a barcode sticker that they scan, and it just checks you in. So you get 600, 700 kids.
Can you imagine
All
to 700 toddlers running around?
Just put them on a carousel.
You can't control all of them.
Put them on a carousel. Leash, carousel, child leash.
Whatever.
But that's money to be made right there.
It's not about the money.
I know, it's about giving them good care. But like there's opportunity for profit there. And giving them good education because you can afford it because of how many kids you have.
You
put them in a lecture.
are messed up.
I'm not messed up. You're Bryce. Okay, on to some news that is not as exciting, not as happy, very sad.
Why would you get up close like that?
I was expressing my sadness. This week, we experienced a loss in the entertainment community. Luke Perry passed away from 90210 and Riverdale. So, I know, I am a avid Riverdale watcher. I watch it every week at midnight on my phone. And very upsetting. All of the episodes that come out from now on will be dedicated to Luke Perry. He died from a massive stroke and was in hospice, and then, or not hospice, like ICU. But we just now have stars speaking out about Perry's death. So KJ Apa, he plays Archie on Riverdale, posted on Instagram and said, "Rest in love, bro." I think that's like an Australian thing. But the whole community is shocked that it happened. He was only 52 when he passed away. So thoughts and prayers go out to his family. Yeah, that sucks. Because he was such a vital role in Riverdale. And I'm sure in real life. So,
yeah,
super unfortunate, but
so
it happens.
Because we don't want to end on a sad note, I'll talk about something that was a little close to home for Graham and I today. Today is Thursday, March 8th, and in about a 2-hour drive from where we are, about an hour drive
Friday,
away.
March 8th.
No. Oh, sorry. Thursday, March 7th. About an hour drive from where Graham and I grew up, there was a open shooter in Rockford, Illinois, and a McHenry County sheriff was killed at a shootout, and while they were like attempting to arrest the shooter. And yeah, the incident was traumatic for people. We're here at school with people who have family in Rockford. They have friends in Rockford, and it was something that was on our minds for a lot of today. And yeah, how many people were killed? But yeah, Sheriff Jacob Keltner, He was the officer who lost his life today in a shootout protecting the public, and yeah, it's just very.
It's really unfortunate.
Very
you know,
sad.
we live in a time where schools are being built with bulletproof glass and high security and metal detectors, and you know, students have to live in fear because of all that's happened. And now you have something like this happens where it started in a public area, and those people were just going about their business, and now they witnessed something like this. And this cop was just, you know, he didn't know that he was going out to work for his last day.
Right.
And so that's really, really unfortunate. And thank you to all of the police officers, all of the firefighters, all of the first responders, and everything that you guys do. So, yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. Okay, so I am going to talk very briefly about something very, very interesting. Huawei.
Hawaii.
No, it's not Hawaii. It's Huawei. It is a large electronics company.
Electronics.
They're suing the U.S. government over what it calls an unfair ban. So basically, long story short, the U.S. Has argued with Huawei because the equipment could be used by authorities to spy on communications and disrupt telecommunications networks. Long story short, the phones that they're creating are not as secure as phones that are approved in the United States already. And like, you can get a Huawei phone in the U.S. like no problem, but the United States is now making it more difficult for them, and in turn losing them millions and millions, if not billions of dollars of sales.
You know what they say, it's Huawei or the highway.
I was gonna use that, Bryce.
Took it from you.
I'm so mad at you.
Took it from you.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Never whisper, "How does it feel?" in my ear ever again. Ew.
How does it feel to have something taken from you?
So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out, and how. What? Stop. And what happens with that. Bryce, do you want me to share my last one, or do you want to share yours and then I'll
Is
go
your last one a happy one?
Yeah. Is
There's
yours?
been some odd activity in California. A lot of people know California as a place of drier
than Bryce's relationship status button. Crustier than his relationship status button.
A place that has fires all the time. It's always in a drought.
There's no fire there right now.
California has been experiencing some floods. It was a Pacific storm. Pacific storm. And it brought a lot of heavy rains to flood California. And the latest in series of Pacific storms has again. I just said that. The storms they're experiencing are hailstorms, lightning storms, and from what we know about California, we also know that they are not experienced in driving.
Everybody doing bumper cars.
In any sort of inclement weather. And that was a nice word.
It's kind of like me navigating difficult social. Yeah.
So, they've gotten, and like the driest place in the U.S., Death Valley. Shut up. It got a whopping 16 millimeters of rain, and we get that in about an hour in Chicago. So, while there is chaos while there is chaos not only from the flooding and people being super scared over 16 millimeters of rain, there is chaos in the streets as nobody knows how to drive a car in California if it is any bit wet. I was going for the it's any bit wet.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Podcast. Okay.
Shut up.
So here we go.
Yeah. You're making this podcast harder on me.
I know. So, the most incredible news has come about, and I'm here to share with you guys about this grand
Tesla got new
news.
superchargers with 100 mile per hour charging better than the last ones. And
That's-
they're smaller and liquid cooled.
That's
And all the rest of the chargers are getting a supercharge on them.
so wrong. Okay, so Tesla unveiled
Say something else.
Tesla-
Say something else that I didn't just say to them.
Tesla unveiled the version 3 supercharger, which charges at 1,000 miles per hour,
What
or
did I say?
100.
No,
or,
I said 1,000.
No, you said 100.
We'll roll back.
He said 100. And now you can charge your car 75 miles in 5 minutes, which is massive. All of the current superchargers are 125 kilowatt. These are now 250 kilowatt. All of the current version 2 superchargers will be getting a 20 kilowatt per hour increase. This is going to effectively cut in half the time spent charging, which means double the amount of people are going to be able to go in, double the amount of Teslas. Tesla is superior to everything on Earth when it comes to automobiles. Fight me, you can't change my mind because I know it's true.
Wow.
It is huge.
That's all we have for you this week.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Make sure you guys check us out on our social medias. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at eVENTS Podcast.
And make sure you get back to putting those pepperonis on your pizza.
You're a thief.
You're a thief.
I know, it's great.
That's all we got for you guys.
Thank you for letting us vent.
Peace. Gah! Popping in again. Just wanted to say one final thank you to our sponsor of this episode, Top Line Construction. If you guys have any renovation needs, need any help with your bathrooms, kitchens, flooring, painting, all that fun stuff, just head on over to facebook.com/TLCIL or call 224-805-6434 to get your quote today.